Well, now we're in the good stuff. Pretty much, most people who watch Utena multiple times, they like the show a lot, but they tend to not watch the first 13 episodes, especially not the first 4 or 5.
Well, the people who like the fucked up parts, right?
I like the fucked up parts.
Yeah, of course, those are the best. And the second and third parts are much more fucked up, so they'll skip over this first third or act like it's not as important as the more fucked up second and third thirds. But clearly, you can tell from this episode is where the formula really gets established and the fucked upness is all over the place.
So this is where the duels get interesting. They get quick. You'll have an introduction, plot, duel, all in one episode. You already start to know the characters. Like now we know Juri pretty well.
先輩の噂は中等部でもよく耳にします。フェンシング部のキャプテンで教師たちも一目置く優秀な生徒会メンバー。でも本当はすごい不良で裏の顔を知っている者は決して10メーター以内には近づかないって。それじゃ猛獣だよ。
We got a nice introduction to
That was
her.
pretty much the one student council person we didn't know about. Finally, here they are.
Well, we don't really know about Toga.
No.
But we know who he is.
We've
know his...
seen him a lot. He's done things. We know some things about him. We didn't know anything about Juri except there's an orange-haired fencing girl who's on the student council. What's up with her?
Yep. But this duel in particular is also sort of in the aesthetic of the way the duels are going forward. Notice how Mickey's duel kind of had this and Sayonji's kind of had this, but now it really hits home of hitting these sort of allegorical cutaways and the flashbacks and really like having a tight, direct story about the duel. I mean, this episode is actually really straightforward. We get introduced to Juri. We know that she has some incident in her past where there was a girl, a guy, and her.
Some sort of triangle of love.
Yep, and the triangle didn't work out so well. No. And Juri is driven by this.
あなたの文字の一つ一つを見ていると、過ぎた月日の多さを感じないわけにはいきません。あの頃は何をやるにも三人一緒で本当に楽しかった。でも今あなたたち二人の幸せに輝いている顔を見ていると、懐かしい気持ちと羨ましい気持ちがない。
Kind of how Utena is driven by this noble spirit of wanting to meet this prince again, wanting to be a prince, having this ring and everything.
なぜいつも男の子の格好をしてるの？
そうですね。なんていうかな。本当のこと言っちゃうと王子様の影響かな。
王子様？
昔小さい頃僕は王子様に会ったんです。で、その王子様が言ったんです。君の強さ、気高さをどうか失わないでほしいって。
Juri is driven by this. This exact moment from her past drives her possibly more strongly at this point than Utena is driven by anything.
Mm-hmm. So the whole thing revolves around whether people believe in miracles or power or not, right? Utena's like, hey, Juri, what's this all about? And Juri's like, well, you know that we're fighting because you can, whoever is engaged to Anthe gets mad cosmic powers and stuff.
バラの花嫁と彼女とエンゲージすれば何でも奇跡の力、世界を革命する力が手に入るそうだ。
そりゃすごいや。じゃあ今エンゲージしている僕がその奇跡の力を持っているわけだ。
And Utena's like, yeah, I don't believe in that nonsense. That's crazy.
君の言う通りだね。バラの花嫁を奪い合うなんて確かに馬鹿げてる。
奇跡を信じて思いが届くと。
そう。奇跡なんてあるわけないんだ。
先輩とは話が合いそうですよ。
Even though she straight up takes the sword out of Anthe, that where the power of Dios
She's
is
done
invoked.
it multiple times. She does it again in this episode. She still doesn't believe.
But the power of Dios is invoked by name, and we've seen it happen in these duels multiple times.
Right, Utena still doesn't believe in it. Juri says she doesn't believe in it, mostly because... On the one hand, it's weird. Like, she says she doesn't believe in it, but she so strongly is just straight in line with the student council. Like, she wants to get the power to revolutionize the world. She says so directly. She does believe in it, but she says she doesn't.
ジュリさんには戦う動機はないでしょ？
あるさ。ジュリはバラの花嫁の力を奇跡の力で否定したいのさ。
あれ、そうなんですか？
さあな。でもまあ、期末テストぐらいは自分の力で勉強しなきゃな。
なんですそれ？
だが君は本当に奇跡の力を否定したいのかな？
So, Juri, now we've gotten to meet Juri. One, the things we've learned about Juri, she is serious business. Everyone, Toga is kind of derpy and funny sometimes. Seonji's sad. Mickey, they're all sort of human in these sort of interesting ways. But Juri is hardcore, dead serious, very different in demeanor from everyone else.
There are no jokes with Juri in this episode at all. She doesn't do anything funny or silly or out of line at all. Choo-Choo has to be in this episode to lighten the mood.
Yep. Juri is in many ways an adult. Unlike everyone else, notice how the school, the normal people on the outside, are interacting with her, and she's the one with power. She's straight up. She looks at that guy and she's like,
the vice principal?
Yep, you need to go meet with that guidance counselor.
Yeah, that whole scene is really cool because it shows Utena in one hallway with a guidance counselor and Juri with the vice principal, and it goes back and forth between them with this outside the school camera.
But yeah, Juri holds all the cards.
It shows you the difference, right? Basically, Utena has to do what this guidance counselor is saying, which is get Choo-Choo out of the school. What is wrong with you, right? Juri is being, Utena's being scolded. Juri's being praised for her work on the student council, and she went to the regional student council to help them preserve the traditions of their school.
アリス川君、先週の地域研究会では君たち生徒会が仕切ってくれて助かったよ。他の先生方も皆感心しておられた。例年以上の出来だってね。君たち今年の生徒会の活動は我が学園の伝統に残るものだよ。
The vice principal's like, you're doing a great job. Let's go to lunch. And then Juri's like, actually, you're going to go to lunch with a guidance counselor.
Now, there's a subtext that comes up multiple times in the show. If that guidance counselor has a thing for the vice principal. So this is not the first nor last time that you can read that into the show.
Yeah, and who's the principal, though?
I wonder who the principal is.
I wonder who the principal is. We've only seen the vice principal.
Well, it is Tori Academy.
Maybe a school a show revolves around a school. Maybe the principal would be an important character.
Juri, what's interesting too is that she is very aloof and stylish compared to everyone else. And she's dressed very elegantly in that garden.
And Utena even comments on it like, whoa, you look like a supermodel not wearing student council uniform.
Juri is a lesbian, or at least is bisexual. If that isn't obvious in this episode, then you need to watch the episode a little more closely.
They pretty much just say it out loud.
Well, it's brought up in different ways. First, she's in the garden, and she's having this conversation with Utena, and she acts in a very forward and unnerving way toward Utena, but then flips out and gets violent.
Well, even before then, right, when she's talking to Utena, after they've gotten rid of the teachers, right, she has these sort of instant creepy flashbacks to this black and white shot of that girl sitting alone.
決闘で姫宮を奪い合うなんて馬鹿げたこと、本当にみんなマジでやってんですか?
Which we later learn is the girl that she was way in love with and ran off with the guy that was in love with her. Oh my god.
Now, we didn't get Mickey's sister's name yet, Kozue. We didn't get this girl's name yet either, but it's Shiori. Shiori's in the Utena movie, and she's extra creepy there, but that's really not relevant to this discussion. Yeah. Shiori, Swabuki, Kozue are all the younger, minor characters who actually play very major, important roles, and they're all gonna duel.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
But pretty much notice how each character sort of has, each one of these sub-characters is tied to another one, right? Shiori goes with Juri, right? Mickey's sister goes with Mickey. They're each paired with an existing student council person, right? You don't have sort of like this oddball who's hanging out on their own.
Shinobu Ai.
誰も聞いてないよ。
Yep. Juri not only is cold, but she is somewhat cruel. I mean, look at the way she interacts with Utena. She violently tries to take the ring away from her. She's disgusted with her. Utena is it flies in the face of everything that Juri believes from her past. She hates Utena, or at least what Utena stands for, because Utena is almost what she wanted to be. Utena experienced some sort of miracle and has this sort of optimism and hope for the future. And Juri, all of that was killed.
バラの刻印をこの指輪を捨てろ。気持ち悪いな。つまり君の気高さとやらは好きな男に言われてやっているだけの猿芝居なんだ。君のような娘にはバラの刻印は似合わない。嫌だ。
Juri is fighting for this power, whatever it may be, because miracles didn't happen for her.
Yep.
奇跡を信じてってのが君の口癖だったね。だけど奇
The love triangle is presented kind of obtusely at first, but obviously it's that Ruka, he's in the show again later, though we haven't gotten his name yet either, is in love with Juri. Juri is in love with him on the surface. Shiori, jealous or for some other reason,
血にこそ出さないけれど、やはり彼はジュリさんのことを一番思っているようでした。でも私は彼を奪わずにはいられなかった。何もかもあなたにはかなわなくても、彼を思う気持ちだけは。知ってる？ジュリさんには好きな人がいるのよ。でもそれはあなたじゃないの。だからあなたから彼を奪ってしまったこと、後悔はしていません。なぜならそれは私が心から願ったことだから。
steals him away from Juri. That's the kind of the surface read of it. But obviously it's more complex than that. Juri actually loved Shiori.
こんな私をあなたは憎んでますよね。
そう、憎んでるさ。私の思いに君は気づきもしないんだから。
So what were all of their motivations? If Juri actually loved Shiori, was she dating him in the first place and then didn't? What the relationship seems like it's going to be much more complicated than we were given in this first
It
bit.
looks to me like it's one of those things where from all the people standing around look at the situation, they see Juri and Ruka on this and the fencing club together, and it looks like they're together, but they're not, but they should be. It's like you see two people are so close, they should obviously be dating, but they're not dating. It's one of those.
So why is Juri so obsessed with proving that miracles can't exist?
そう、奇跡なんてあるわけないんだ。
ならば貴様の言う奇跡を見せてみろ。その正体を私の剣が暴いてやる。奇跡なんてないんだ。違う、こんなのは偶然だ。奇跡とは関係ない。
それで君は奇跡を認めたのかな？
Because we've got that quote from her past. The girl she loved said, believe in miracles and they will learn your feelings.
奇跡を信じて思いは届くと。奇跡を信じて思いは届くと。奇跡を信じて思いは届くと。
Now, she did believe in miracles. They did not learn her feelings. In fact, the girl she loves effectively betrayed her. Not only didn't realize that she loved her, but betrayed her and stole away the boy she thought she loved.
Yep.
So if miracles do exist, then either her feelings could not have been known. That wouldn't have worked. There was no way.
Or they do exist and Shiori was lying and full of shit.
Yep. So
she was lying and full of shit.
Juri either needs the power of Dios to show her feelings, to make miracles happen, or miracles do exist, but they exist for other people and not for her.
Right.
So if a miracle ever happens for someone else and not for Juri, that destroys her entire psyche, everything she lives for, everything she is. So when Utena wins the duel straight up with a miracle,
奇跡なんてないんだ。決まりだ。
I mean, the thing was, it's like Utena, this is the first time you notice, Utena brings the power of Dios, which she doesn't believe in. She brings it out, which hasn't happened since 2 duels ago, right?
but yet
Juri's amazing skills, she's actually able to defend against the power attack.
かわいそうに。もうヘトヘトだな。でもさ、絶対に許さないからね。奇跡はまだ起きないのかな、王子様。
でもあなたから彼を奪ってしまったこと、私は後悔していません。こんな私をあなたはきっと憎んでいますよね。
奇跡を信じてってのが君の口癖だったね。だけど
奇跡なんてないんだ。
That's like if, you know, Messenger goes like, all right, rocket to punch, and it didn't work. That's insane, right?
So why? What? This is something you really want to think about in these duels. And now, from this point forward in the show, you can really pay attention to it because the duels all involve these elements. When someone wins a duel, why did they win? What were they fighting for? Some of the duels we've seen up to this point, the Power of Dios came down. Other ones, it didn't come down.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, it did come down, and yet Juri was able to fight through it.
Not even the power to end the world was able to defeat.
And yet Juri kind of in the end casually notes that if Utena does have the power to revolutionize the world, then she'll take it from her with her own hands.
それで君は奇跡を認めたのかな？
さあな。ただもし彼女が本当に世界を革命する力があるというなら、私がこの手で奪ってやるさ。
So, what is the end goal of all these duels? Why does one person win over another? They're obviously fighting toward this goal of getting into the castle, end of the world, Power of Dios, smash the world shell, all that. But Juri says that Utena might have the power to revolutionize the world. Why her as opposed to Juri? Why did Juri lose this duel? Because one way to look at these duels, and you can think about this, is that two people are fighting for something. It doesn't matter that they're the ones fighting each other. Utena is fighting to protect Anthy from these duels, ostensibly. Juri is fighting for the power to show someone she loves her true feelings. These are both noble goals. So Utena's goal is noble. Juri's goal is also noble. So why did Juri beat the Power of Dios? She's fighting for something equally noble, but then Juri has a flashback.
でもあなたから彼を奪ってしまった。
And then Juri loses the duel to a miracle. And then Anthy.
いつか思いが届きますように。余計なお世話だ。
Comes out at the end, has another flower. I guess you just got flowers everywhere.
That happened early in the episode, right? Anthy tried to give Juri this orange rose, which is orange on purpose, right? Which is something that Shiori had also done in the past.
Now, they have the
right?
chart from the end of the world showing the duels that they're supposed to have, when they're supposed to have them, and all these things. And then we see Anthy picking a rose that she would need for the duel. It's the orange rose if Juri's going to duel. So if Anthy is the Rose Bride, maybe she is somehow tied to the end of the world.
Yeah, it's like Anthy somehow knew she needed to pick this orange rose early on because she needs the orange rose for Juri to duel with to put on her, right? So she picks it early in the episode, tries to give it to Juri early, gets slapped away.
Now, I wouldn't say slapped. Sayonji just slapped her.
It was like
Juri smacked her. Juri, like I said, Juri is cruel.
よかったらこれどうぞ。
いい気になるな。
Juri is a cruel, cold, people describe her later in the show as a lioness, which I could see that.
Right? Then she puts it on her, for reals in the duel, right? It gets stabbed by the miracle. And then I don't know if she picks that one up off the ground or has another one that she offers to her.
The new one's on a stem, so obviously she has yet another rose. But the fact that Anthy handed her that rose out of nowhere in the beginning of the episode, we don't see Anthy really interacting with people on her own unless there's some sort of plot. Was Anthy not, as part of the end of the world, trying to goad Juri into dueling, remind her what she's fighting for? And then at the end, when she loses, she hands her the same rose again and says the same thing that the girl from Juri's past said to her. Toga and Anthy both know about Juri's past somehow.
Yeah, at the very end of the episode, Toga's like, says something. I forget exactly what he says, but it shows, like, are you going to show those
I'll
two people?
paraphrase what Toga said. Yo, everybody knows who the picture in your locket is of. It's like everybody knows.
Yeah, he's like, that's right. Juri said, I'll take the power with my own two hands. And Toga's like, oh, so you can show those two people?
秘めた思いが届くようにか。届かぬ思いを叶えてくれるのが世界を革命する力だとしたら、君の恋がまだ諦めずに済むかもしれないとしたら。
Right? And,
Yep, show them, your true feelings.
Right.
So why do all these people know what's in Juri's locket? It's not like it's a big secret, I guess.
I guess. But yeah, I mean, this is the second time that Anthe has done something like that. When she played the piano music for Mickey, right? And now she hands the rose to Juri and says the exact same thing. Anthe seems to know what happens in everyone's past down to an incredibly minute detail.
Yes, the exact quote, believe in miracles and they will learn your feelings. If that was something that Shiori said to Juri in her past, how did Anthe remember that or even know that?
How did she know the song that Mickey's sister played on the piano with him, right? Anthe knows all these things somehow and keeps bringing them up to people to get them angry and
so
make them
try
wanna
to pay
fight.
attention to this. Why does Anthe know these things? Why does the end of the world know these things? Who or what is the end of the world? And why does Toga also seem to know these things?
Well, think about this. Think about the previous episode, right? The Nanami episode, which makes no sense. And the completely, seemingly throwaway comedy scene of Toga and Anthe worrying about the vermin in the rose garden, right? Clearly, why is Toga involved in the rose growing? What does he give a shit about that, right?
Well, you know, I could give you a pretty mundane idea as to why he cares about the roses. They grow those roses to be able to have the duels.
Exactly. So Toga is making sure that they have the right ones of the right colors ready at the right times. You know, and that totally comes into play right here again.
Yep.
They needed at least 3 orange ones for this to happen.
Now, another subtle point, you know, we brought up way in the beginning of GeekNights Presents that there's those borders with the spinning roses up in the corner periodically. In the flashback, we see Juri's color when she's looking at Shiori, and we see a white rose when we're looking at Ruka, the unnamed boy who's just part of the plot. So remember that as things come up later in these episodes. And I forget when it is stated in Utena. I don't think it's in this episode, but there is another member of the student council who is currently missing. I forget when that gets brought up, and I don't remember if we saw it in this episode or not.
Apparently there's a regional student council too that was briefly mentioned. That never matters.
Yeah, that doesn't come up anywhere.
The Shadow Girls, they talk very briefly about a sour grapes situation.
It's straightforward. It's sour grapes. I didn't want to go anyway.
風邪ひいてちょうどよかったわ。遠足なんてめんどくさいと思ってたのよね。
Juri, I didn't want to, you know, she basically, if she disproves miracles exist, then she can console herself personally by being able to reconcile the fact that she never got what she wanted because it was impossible.
Right.
There was no way she could have shown her true feelings, so it doesn't matter. She doesn't have to worry about it.
Utena went to the zoo and had a good time. Juri didn't want to go to the zoo anyway. Zoos suck.
Yep. So if Juri proves that miracles don't exist, then she can at least believe that there was no way she could have ever shown her true feelings to Shiori, and she can move on. If she proves miracles do exist, and by doing so wins the power to revolutionize the world, she can use that miracle to show the person, Shiori, she loves, her true feelings. If someone else wins the duel and someone else gets the power of miracles, Juri then has to live with the fact that she could have shown her feelings, but was unable to do so. She will never move past her love for Shiori.
You know, you wonder if Juri would just write them a letter and say, hey, this is my feels, bro, that maybe she would win, right, immediately after.
Well, it's not as though homosexuality is, you know, not 100% taboo.
Well, I think it's a little less taboo than the constant incest at this school. So can it be that bad?
So we've got a lot of ideas of hidden love.
Shinobu ai.
誰も聞いてないよ。
Taboo love in multiple forms, and how all these people in the show have loves and desires and needs and wants that for whatever reason cannot be fulfilled, and they're seeking the power of miracles to fulfill these things. So Saionji, literally, he's gonna come up again. What was he fighting for? Let's go through this right now. All these duels we've had to the point. What was Saionji fighting for? The power to be with Anthe, but really he's fighting for some other power, to revolutionize the world, to get something. Mickey was fighting to get with his sister, or really to get with Anthe, or really again to get with his sister. He went through a cycle there. Juri was fighting to get with the girl she loved from her past, who she couldn't. And Anthe is just sort of the proxy for all this, the proxy for the power to revolutionize the world. Why does Utena keep winning? Because she's the only one fighting for something pure. She is fighting for the thing she says she's fighting for, at least ostensibly. She's fighting for the power to be a prince and to protect Anthe from these duels.
Something that is noble, right? Juri's all pissed. She's like, all you have is this stupid nobility from this prince. Arrgh.
気持ち悪いな。つまり君の気高さとやらは好きな男に言われてやっているだけの猿芝居なんだ。そうとも バラの花嫁を奪い合うなんてことも君の言う王子様へのセンチメンタルと同じで馬鹿げたことさ。だけどその資格があるのは本当に気高き者だけだ。
Right? Well, it's like, yeah, I have nobility, the thing that no one else really has here at all.
Yep, so Juri was fighting for something pure. Show this person that I love them. But then she's also fighting to sour grape disprove miracles for Utena, and as soon as she's got that conflict of nobility and non-nobility, she loses.
Yeah, if you think about it, there's a castle floating in the sky, right? Princes and kings and queens and princesses live in castles, also known as nobles, right? If you want to get with the Rose Bride, maybe you should be amongst the nobles.
Mickey, ostensibly, was fighting to protect Anthe from the duels and to free her from the cycle, but no, really, he's fighting for that thing with his sister. So again, he loses his nobility. He's a hypocrite. Saionji ostensibly loves Anthe in his fucked up way, and he keeps an exchange diary. We see that is kind of, there's something going on. He really does.
You just love that exchange diary.
Because like I said, it matters. When you're gonna
Ram,
see,
you want to start an exchange diary?
you're going to see this exchange diary 2 more times in the show. The next time you see it, it's funny. The time after that, it is not funny.
Okay.
Saionji ostensibly is fighting for his hidden love with Anthe. Really, he's fighting for something else, and that's why he loses twice. Utena is the only one who's fighting earnestly for now. And how long will Utena continue to fight earnestly? Will Utena win every duel?
Yeah, is it going to be Initial D where she just always wins except for one where she wins? Or is it going to be a situation where maybe she loses and comes back and wins? Maybe it'll be one of those ones where she wins everything and at the very end loses, right?
And how many duels are there? At what point do you get the power to revolutionize the world? All of that is revealed in episode 13.
Yeah, I mean, this school has traditions that are very old and very, right? So how long have these duels been going on? How come nobody's revolutionized the world yet? If we looked at that chart that they had the student council meeting, is that last battle at the top of the tournament bracket, is that the one where you finally win?
So a little aside, that chart looks like it was drawn in crayon.
Yep.
Think about what's going on here. Is it possible that these duels and everything that's going on is actually something childish, something that isn't necessarily what it seems to be?
Yeah, and also maybe I couldn't really read the chart. It wasn't translated. It could just be a chart of the already happened duels, right? But they did say the end of the world came and said with a letter, there needs to be a duel this month on the schedule. Get to it, student council people, right?
世界の果てから手紙が届きました。今週中には次の決闘が行われなければなりません。
And Juri is 100% super. Let's do what End of the World says. She's always, right? She's
Well,
the one.
remember, Juri was the one who was most vocal in saying that we're not going to stop the duels when Mickey was like, we should end it all now.
Yep.
You signed up for this.
Yep, we are following the instructions at the End of the World to get this power. No going back. Let's do it. Student council said, End of the World says duel this month. Duel this month.
Yep.
It's happening. I'll make it happen if I have to.
So Anthe being creepy, one last thing, there's a little kind of funny scene where Anthe's just by herself in a room
Doing the bunny rabbit.
doing this sort of like screensaver. Up until this point, we see that Anthe is sort of a passive actor on the surface. She's just there. She does whatever her husband tells her to do. And she's the Rose Bride. That is her identity. She's hollow other than her Rose Bride identity. But yet, at the same time, there's a subtext that she knows more than she's letting on, that she is doing things. And now we see her and this happens multiple times.
She's in a classroom all alone, like at night.
Doing something weird.
Yep.
Don't forget that happened. Why is she screensavering?
Yeah, that's kind of weird.